What's up, fam? It's your girl, Lady T, and welcome to Real Talk the Deep Dive podcast, where we stop scrolling, start thinking, and take a deep dive into the conversations everybody else is scared to have. Now, fam, today's episode might make a few folks clutch their pearls, hide their wedding Pinterest boards, and suddenly lose internet service because today we're talking about she wants a husband but hates accountability. Hmm. Now, before somebody starts typing, here she go attacking women again. Pump your brakes because Lady T ain't attacking nobody. I'm talking about behavior. And trust me, this conversation applies to men too. But today, we talking about the ladies. And baby, some of y'all want a husband the same way kids want puppies. You love the idea, but don't want the responsibility. Let's talk about it. Now, let's start right here. Everybody wants wedding pictures, wants a dress, wants the honeymoon, and matching pajamas at Christmas, and wants the social media post. Look what my husband bought me. But ain't nobody posting. Today I had to apologize. See, marriage ain't just romance, marriage is work. It's compromise, it's patience, and it is learning how to live with another flawed human being. And some folks don't want partnership, they want permanent agreement. But baby, look, that's not marriage, that's kidnapping. Have y'all noticed how some people break out in hives whenever accountability shows up and it's knocking at the door? You tell them, maybe you could have handled that differently. And suddenly, you're public enemy number one. Some people can't explain everybody else's flaws, but can't identify one of their own. Every ex was crazy and jealous. Every boss was a hater. Every church member was fake. Every coworker was toxic. Wait a minute. Everybody, baby, if every room you walked into smells bad, you might want to check your shoes. At some point, growth requires self examination. Now, let's snatch this wig carefully because some of y'all got requirements list longer than a Walmart receipt. Now, you want the man to have uh, great posture. He got to be 6 feet tall. He got to make six figures. He got to own a house. He got to own a business. He got to love God. He got to be emotionally available. He got to communicate. He got to protect. He got to provide. He got to cook, clean. He got to know how to fix stuff. He got to be romantic. And then he got to be all that in the bed. He got to be loyal like a puppy. And he got to have good credit. At least 850 or more. Okay. Cool. Nothing wrong with those standards. But then somebody asks, what you doing? What you bring? And the room gets quieter than the library. Now, baby, check this out. You can't order steakhouse quality while bringing microwave energy. Yeah, I think I said that. Now, let Lady T say something controversial. Everybody can't be the prize. I know social media told you that. TikTok, they told you that too. And they cousin Instagram kicked in their little comment as well. But let's be honest. Some people still got healing to do and growing, and they got to mature. Being valuable doesn't mean you're prepared. You can be a good person and still not be ready for marriage. That's why some folks keep changing partners and keep getting the same results. Make that make sense, right? Different faces, same problems. Different names, same drama. Huh. Different zip codes, same foolishness. Some people turn every disagreement into a courtroom. Nobody's listening and learning. Everybody's just trying to win. But baby, marriage ain't the Olympics. You don't get a gold medal for proving your spouse wrong. Some people would rather be right than be happy. And after 30 years of being right, they sitting alone. Still right, but alone. Sometimes healthy relationships require humility. Sometimes you got to say, hey, you know what? I was wrong. Whew. That sentence has saved more relationships than flowers ever could. Now, let Lady T really talk. Social media has convinced some people that relationships are performances. Everybody posting anniversary pictures and matching outfits and luxury vacations. You got the rose petals going on, and you got them designer bags popping off, and the surprise gifts. But what you don't see communication, you don't see forgiveness, you don't see compromise, sacrifice, or patience. You don't see work, because healthy relationships are built in private, not performed in public. And some folks want the appearance of marriage without developing the character for marriage. Here's Lady T's challenge, and check this one out. Before you ask, where is my husband? Ask, am I prepared to be somebody's wife? Not somebody's girlfriend or situationship, not somebody's social media partner, a wife. Can you communicate and compromise? And can you receive correction? Can you admit mistakes? Can you control your emotions? Can you support somebody else's dreams? And can you build something bigger than yourself? Those are questions, because marriage isn't about finding perfection. It's about two imperfect people choosing growth together. And this final wig snatch, now fam, before we leave, let me say this. Accountability isn't punishment, it's preparation. The people who grow the most are usually the people willing to tell themselves the truth. And sometimes the hardest conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with the person staring back at you in the mirror. Because the mirror don't lie. It don't care about your followers. It don't care about your captions. And it doesn't care about your relationship status. The mirror only asks one question. What part of this can you improve? And once you answer that honestly, everything starts changing. Fam, this has been another episode of Real Talk, the Deep Dive Podcast with your girl, Lady T. And remember, you can't build a healthy marriage while making everybody else the villain. And you can't grow if accountability is always somebody else's job. If this episode right here stepped on your toes, good. That means you still feel something. Like always, if it ain't deep, it ain't real. Lady T out.